Cosmic Creation is here, which means new things. New things are my favorite things. Well, that and free things, but we have new stuff, and that means more exciting things to brew with. I don't normally do these like top 5 videos, but today we're gonna do the YouTuber thing and do the top 5 cards that I'm excited about. All right, this was really hard to put together because there's a lot of cards that I'm excited about. So before I get into it, just because a card doesn't make it on this list doesn't mean I'm not excited about it. These are just the cards that have piqued my interest. Also, I don't think these are the most powerful cards that are coming out of it necessarily, but these are the cards that I'm the most excited about and that I'm the most excited to brew things with. So let's get into it. Number 5, the 5th card on the list is Victor. Starting off with the champion here, and one that I think is pretty sweet. Victor's the new Piltover and Zon card. I have an affinity for Piltover and Zon. I love the region, as everyone knows by now. Victor is a 4-mana, 2/4 champion that has Augment on him, and he also has Round Start, create a Hex Core upgrade in hand. He levels up after you've played 8+ created cards. And the Hex Core upgrade is a 1-mana spell that grants Victor a random keyword. This is just something that I really like, something I'm very excited to build around. I think it's very fun because random keywords are awesome. And then when he levels up, he gets a stat boost to a 3/5, and he makes your creative cards cost 1 less. So he synergizes with himself and with a lot of exciting things. And I just think it's going to be a very fun card to build around. I'm going to be playing this with Give It All, give a bunch of random keywords and stuff, and it's going to be super, super fun. But also his voice lines are absolutely amazing. If you haven't gone and watched these in other languages, go look at the German reveal and the Russian reveal. They're absolutely amazing, and the voice acting on this card is chef's kiss. I'm just, everything about this seems fun. I'm excited to have some crazy keywords on all my dudes and on Victor, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Number 4 on my list is the new Targon Monument, or the new Targon Landmark. It is the 5-mana landmark, Targon's Peak. And what it reads is, Round Start, reduce the cost of a random card in each player's hand to 0 this round. This effect is pretty powerful, especially if you're playing things like Aurelian Soul or, you know, just big stuff like that. It's a symmetrical effect, so both players get it, but you're the one who built the deck around it, so you're gonna have a bunch of big, stupid stuff in your hand, and this is gonna be super fun. You know, 0-mana War Mother's Call, you know, stuff like that. Just no big deal. Even the giant Celestials you can get off of your Discovers or Aurelian Soul, it's gonna be amazing. Something else that I'm going to be doing with this, of course, is playing this with Cadragrin and Big Dragons, because why would I want to pay mana for Cadragrin if I could just make it cost 0 or 0 cost Harrowings? The amount of cool stuff we can do with this is awesome. So it's like 5 mana infinite ramp. And I am very, very excited. It is random, a random card, and it's symmetrical, so both players get it, so it's fair. Sometimes you're gonna make their like single combat cost 0, or their Vile Feast cost 0, or their Go Hard cost 0. But it's a small price to pay to get a 0 cost Aurelian Soul, and I think this card is gonna lead to some very fun moments, some hilarious highlights, and I am very excited to play it. All right, number 3 on my list is another landmark, and this is the Piltover and Zon one, the Hex Core Foundry. I'm kind of pairing this with the Ionia one, the Monastery of Harana, but I did an entire YouTube video on that as well. If you haven't seen it, click the little thing and go check it out. But I'm excited for this. It's like Howling Mine and Magic the Gathering, symmetrical, both players are drawing extra cards, but if we're building our deck around wanting our opponent to draw cards and making them draw a whole bunch of cards, I think this is going to be very, very, very fun. This card is something that I've been looking forward to and wanting ever since the first closed beta of Legends of Runeterra, and I am super excited for this effect. So Hex Core Foundry gets a big 2 thumbs up from me, and I am super, super excited to play this card. All right, number 2 on my list is the 1-mana burst spell from Targon, Spell Thief. So this is a card that reads, pick one of 3 enemy spells played this game and create a copy of it in hand. This is a very, very sweet effect. It's also a cheap burst spell, which cheap spells are powerful in card games, but being able to get stuff that we normally wouldn't be able to play in our deck from our opponent is very cool, and it's going to be awesome. Being able to pull things like a deny from your Ionia opponent, or a War Mother's Call from your War Mother opponent, or, you know, just crazy stuff. But even getting things like extra Mystic Shots or Get Exciteds or whatever. Spells are good in this game. Your opponent's spells are going to be good because you have to assume your opponent's putting good cards in their deck. So this is going to get you a good card. I'm super excited. We're going to have those moments where we're able to like give Overwhelm to our Irelia souls and just crazy stuff that we shouldn't be able to do. And this leads to some nonsense and shenanigans, which are 2 things that I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of shenanigans. So this card I'm very excited for. I think it's very fun. It's a very cool effect. And I am looking forward to thieving some spells. All right, number 1 on the list, and the card I'm the most excited to be playing and building decks around, is Iterative Improvement. This is 2 mana Piltover and Zon burst spell. If you couldn't tell, I really like burst spells. Pick a follower, create a copy of it in hand with +1/+1. I love everything about this. There's been people in Discord talking about being able to finally play Legion Marauders, which we'll see if that works. But being able to play this on things like Chump Wump, being Avarosian Hearthguard, Cadragrin, just a bunch of crazy stuff. It's the same reason I've been loving like Go Get It. This is just like a cheap version of that doesn't do the exact same thing. But being able to make copies of our dudes and buff their stats for 2 mana at burst speed is awesome. It's not going to get countered. It just works. So I am very excited about this. And it is also a follower, so it doesn't have to be an allied follower, so you can put it on your opponent's units as well. It's just really cool. I love effects like this. I'm super excited for it, and I cannot wait to play this in many decks. All right, I have some honorable mentions for you. Here's some cards that I'm excited about but didn't quite make my top 5. So I just wanted to briefly talk about a few different cards because there are a lot of really interesting cards in this set. And the first one I want to talk about is Riven. I think Riven is a cool card. I'm excited to see how she works. I think she's very powerful. I think this is going to be, of the 3 champions, probably the best one. She's a Noxus as well. Being able to play this with things like Draven. I think this could take the spot of like Ezreal and the Ezreal Draven decks potentially. And I think the card is very powerful and synergizes with its own region really well. I think it's cool. I like all of the Reforged units as well. It's just a sweet mechanic, and I think it's an interesting way that we can build Noxus decks going forward. So I like Riven. I think she's interesting. I didn't put her in my top 5 because I don't know. It's not going to be like the first things that I'm experimenting with or like what I'm the most excited to be playing, but I am looking forward to building Riven decks and trying her out and seeing how it works. The level up animation is super sweet as well, and I love the artwork. And I just love Riven as a character. One of my favorite teamfight tactics units that I basically always force whenever I can. So yeah, Riven is super sweet. One I am looking forward to, and we're gonna see how she plays out. I think she's very strong. I think it is a good card. It reminds me of Vi, kind of how it's like a just semi-vanilla but very powerful champion. So I think that Riven is good, just not in my top 5 of most excited about. Next is a card that I'm very interested in, and that's the Pesky Spectre. This is 0 mana 1/1 ephemeral with Last Breath. Create 2 copies of me in the enemy deck. This reminds me of, if you've played Hearthstone, there's a card called Weasel Tunneler that works kind of similarly. I love being able to kind of screw with my opponent's deck. It's one of those things where like I think this fits really well in like I think this can fit well in a lot of different decks, and we'll see how it works out. It's also just a 0 mana 1/1, so we can enable things like the Butchers on turn 1, or if we're trying to do Nightfall stuff, this works really well. And I mean, a 0 mana 1/1 could be aggressive. And being able to screw up your opponent's draws, especially if it's late game, we're, you know, turn 7 plus and they're top decking a 0 mana 1/1 in the opponent's control deck, you probably don't want to do that. So effects like this are really cool. Weasel Tunneler was one of my favorite cards in Hearthstone, so I'm very much looking forward to playing this in many decks that it probably doesn't even belong in, but I'm just going to force it because I like the effect. And we're going to see a lot of people getting very upset about this and going on Reddit and complaining that they drew a pesky Spectre and it needs removed from the game. So I'm excited about this card. So just something that I think is a really cool, interesting effect in the game. All right, another card I wanted to talk about was the Neandroid. One, it wins best name and flavor of the set. It's a 3-mana 1/3 cat as well. Well, it doesn't have a cat tribe, but it's a cat. It's elusive and augment, so this can get really big. This card actually has the potential to be very scary, especially if you are playing augment decks. This is can be a really good payoff in that whole archetype of augment. And just like another elusive threat, it's something that, has to be respected. And it's just, the flavor is a win. The card is all around super sweet. Excited for this card, and I like it. And then the last honorable mention I wanted to talk about is one I don't know if I'm excited about or scared about, and it's the Moonlight Affliction. 5-mana burst spell in Targon. It's silence 2 enemy units this round, and Nightfall, they can't block this round. That could be a very, very scary effect, especially, we've seen the Nocturne Nightfall decks that give, all your dudes fearsome, pretty scary, making it to where your opponent's things can't block, burst spell. It can be very scary. This is a card that I'm actually a little bit scared of, and it seems quite powerful and good. People also don't like silences at all. We've seen, as long as the game's been going on, people don't like their stuff being silenced. It's also units, so you can hit champions as well. It looks really powerful. The artwork is also pretty sweet. So it's definitely one that I'm excited to exist, but I'm also scared that it exists. So those are my top favorite cards that I'm most excited about from Cosmic Creation, that I keep wanting to call Cosmic Creations. I'm very, very excited for the set. The thing that I think I'm the most excited about, though, I was gonna make a whole YouTube video on this itself, but I decided not to, was the fact that we're finally getting foil cards. I'm kind of a bit of a foil addict. I play a lot of Magic the Gathering, and as you can tell, I'm kind of addicted to foils. They're like my favorite thing. So I'm excited that we're gonna finally get some bling and foils in Legends of Runeterra. It's probably the thing I'm the most excited about. Let me know what cards you're excited about. Let me know in the comments what cards you're gonna make if you care about these cosmetics. What cards you're gonna bling out first. For me, it's obviously Teemo. And let me know what you think about this expansion, how you're feeling about the cards and everything. I like to hear from you guys more than anything, so just let me know. That's all I got for you. Come hang out at my Twitch channel every Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific. New stuff. We're gonna be brewing a lot of new things. I'm very, very excited. But that's all I got for you. You're amazing. I love you, and until next time, you stay saucy. Thank you so much for watching my video. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe, hit the little bell notification, and help me destroy the YouTube algorithm overlords by leaving a comment and liking this video. I appreciate you very much. You're amazing, and until next time, you stay saucy.